Hello, this is the Kathy Vic Deeply Awake, and Melissa says sometimes that when we are channeling, we look like a big giant head like on the Wizard of Oz, and we're having that feeling currently, and it is because we are going to just synopsize for you the traveling of one tribe of old souls who very intuitively did some things which are quite energetically powerful, were done quite responsibly, skillfully, and in good time, in divine timing, we would say, as part of a plan which a soul knew, but an entity was woefully unaware of from time to time, having willfully experienced certain things which assisted her to become deeper and wiser, and finally ready to change. And so let us put all cards on table. This one has said many times that she came here to ascend. It was why she came. And she had the language for it and could be loud and proud about it after meeting us in the 90s. However, emanations of this energy were coming through from the beginning, as with many, as with all. But some are unaware through intention and design, and this is good. It's not necessary. Here we have said this again and again, it's just not necessary. This is an esoteric talk for those who are interested in the mechanics, the cooperative nature, the magnetic and morphogenic nature of these changes which you are witnessing. We start by saying this: for humanity there are changes afoot. Can you not see it? Can you not see it in your daily lives? As within, so without. As above, so below. As below, so above. So this is an idea which has been expressed very beautifully, we would say, through channel, about the 44 and about DNA activation and magnetic field alteration, etc. In essence, one old soul who had been in contact with older souls allowed her body to be used to change a magnetic agreement in her body habitus, and food power was restored, let's say. No more quarantine, no more locking into a certain field exclusively or with repetition, more fluidity. And so this was done, and then there was a procedure which occurred in a high meditation and with water, and then the 8th chakra was explained, which sits at the back of the brain, which explains headaches and many things, visual disturbance, pineals cracking open. In the scan you see it's the mirrors, but this is an emanation of this. And then the geometries can bloom, the need to project reality from the brain lessens as there is awareness of body habitus in the heart, and there is a more balanced approach to self, and we would say to others. Although females may become fierce for a while, we would say it is a natural reaction from being in a place where they were not expressing, and males, we would say, may become a bit more we would say compassionate in all dealings and not willing to do anything that would be taking advantage of others. And can you not imagine the shifts in consciousness which this may actually effect in some, we would say, not all, Integration is the idea. No longer looking for matriarchy, which was a disaster. No longer interested in patriarchy, which was a disaster. But with every disaster, can you not see there's rebirth? And this being the fifth sun, the cycle of ascension, well then, in these ascension energies, this is what is being anchored. This is what we are talking about today. So this 8th chakra, this allows for more freedom of expression. However, it must be understood that there is the 8th chakra is connected to the lingam and the yoni, and the lingam needs to oftentimes with this energy there is a lot to overcome, a lot to forgive, a lot of release. The women have already done this. They did a lot of this in the 80s as a group, and so this is a time of we would say a resurgence of male sacred things, divine male becoming presented more, as well as the empowered divine female, no longer simply divine. Thank you. Mother Mary has had her day in the sun. She's a beautiful soul, and she is someone who has bestowed much on many. She is the only lone, sweet, dear archetype who was not seen for what she was, which was the teacher. In concert with the other Mary and every single woman who surrounded that tribe. Come on now. You really think you're that clever? We would say no as a group. Most men understand it's the woman who understands things deeper. And if you're married, you know this especially. But in this old energy world, we tell you there's some things that go on that are dark, and the lights have come up. So this is what has been occurring with the 8th presentation to the mineral kingdom, yeah, the crystal cave, with corners held by beautiful peoples, and then the Merkaba, boop, and the Dolomitic light and all that stuff, and that's been documented, and then trot 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 trot, crystal kingdom. Whee! So we like these things in 3, right? And there was a 3rd last night. This is one person whose last class in metaphysics was in 1988. Okay? Doesn't go to classes. Now, if she's doing this, and she has a whole tribe of people doing it, you think she's the only one? What have we been saying? You're not the only one, you're not the only one. The idea behind the crystal kingdom was to wake up the pod. That was what said, to wake up the pod. A group Merkaba of whales, human beings who have this energy dispersed in a harmonically beautiful way, for to help the humanity and to help the whale and help the human. Beautiful. So then it became bigger, you know, then everyone has access. I'm only one person and I'm doing this thing. Hope it's okay. Hey, look at, I feel better in my mind and in my heart, and I'm not projecting, and I feel better, and I'm really angry as shit, but I'm okay. I'm alive. I'm broke as shit, but I'm alive. Queer. The things that have been going on for those who've been peeking in anyway. The last time with the boom and the Dolomitic light and the gyroscopic stuff and the sound, it was like light and it was like crystal and it was intense. And we talked about her being out of her body for that and all that stuff. And then, of course, what do? We drag her to the crystal cave. Hello, everybody. The third event was on limestone, dear. What else is connected and sitting on limestone, dear? Well, would that be where all the crop circles take place? And also where you see what? Oh, lots and lots and lots of old ancient sites. Monolithic stuff. Horses and men outlined in white. Just doesn't go away. Interesting. Well, did we not say where there is one, they are representing all? So, yes, this beautiful null and null that was created. So, it's on limestone. So let's talk about that, yeah. So, as soon as the significance, after referencing an important book for her, she went right up to Melissa's, understanding what she had done in her body, not really knowing what it meant. And that night, through a series of weird happenstance, a channeling began at midnight. And we would say that night, 10:05, 16, well, it was a very odd night, and strange winds blew, and very large souls stood watch, and it was quite beautiful, and it was done at 1. And then there was sleep, and then in the morning, it was funny, but they just needed to go out there and spin. And they span and prayed and loved, span and prayed and loved. After having looked up at the sun, each of them seeing only one eye in their eyes. And they commented, and it was understood. They were standing as one. And so then they spun. This created the way that the Ascension energies could be manifest, held sacred, and placed in plasmic beauty, until crystalline beauty, until there could be activation. And so this is what occurred yesterday. The day of 2 grand crosses. One with Vesta. So many beautiful characters of celestial proportion. And have we not said that these things are done with celestial triggers? Have we not said this again and again and again? And we say, oh, you don't even have to know about them. But if you do, imagine the potence. It's amazing. And so this one goes boop on a thingy do for the 1 to the 16 of the June. Not looking at it, just saying, oh, this looks good. And then in the early evening, she reads it. Yesterday, Vesta, the Grand Cross was Vesta. And this is what is happening, you see. This is what is happening with the lingam, the yoni, the 8th, and the 12th. Integration. 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 Sacred communion with self and other. And this is an important part of it. And Vesta does have a lot to say about the divine feminine. A lot. And so it's just very interesting that this would be something that comes up and is indeed anchored on this most auspicious night of 1/6/16. Interesting number. 1/6/16. 5, we say, is an alchemical number for the female. And for those who are wishing to ascend. Male too. Yes. And so, what occurred was this null and node was able to, with the telescopic ascension energies that is going through, just lots and lots. And it's hard to explain all the way, so I never bother. But it's a big deal. Lots of planets involved and stuff. Lots of photonic energy and energies that don't have name yet. They just don't. Once you get the plasmic lens, and you'll be okay. Yeah, someone's working on it, and it's gonna be fine. You'll see it all then. But in the meantime, you can make your inferences. And so, for those who have ears to hear and eyes to see and hearts to listen, here's what we have to say. The null node was kept safe, inert. He said, "Oh, don't you worry about it, girlie. It won't even be used, and for a long time. It's the 13th, we said. The 13th. And then we started to insert what the 13 might be. She told the Jennifer as they were driving. I think I might understand why the 13 is so important in everything like that. Just Fibonacci and elevators and buildings and superstition and lots of stuff. I think what it means is that maybe everyone has some kind of council of 12. 12 is so important, and it's in the base 12 math. What if the 13 is actually the person, the human being, or the species coming to the table, sitting down and getting advice, rather than pretending they are getting punished or that kind of thing? Maybe the 13 is so sacred because it's the human understanding that they are equal with everything that they might once have feared, and that they truly are divine individuals in a certain way, being able to contain multiverses. I think that's what the 13 means, she say. Well, that's pretty. And we say this is the 13th null node, and then we say, if there's one tribe doing this, and they're doing it in integrity and with skill and with honor, and doing it so well, how many other little tribes might be doing it? Just because this tribe has a blabbermouth in it, you think she's the only one? No, you're wrong. So, what they did was they assumed the responsibility of embodying this plasmic stuff that kept this beautiful energy inert. And with Fahiman being spinning, they were able to create things that are not able to be created unless they have certain things that are open, just certain circuits that are open, able to spin energy, able to see energy, able to know and move energy and love it, express as it, allow it to be what it is. And so each, we will not give configuration, so each had visions and shared these visions. In the end, coming together, hugging, looking down, it looked as if there were 4 pair of feet standing on a planet that was little, and everything around them didn't seem as important as that, and they were together, and they loved each other, and they had helped. The Jennifer saw something important, and we bring it up here. The Jennifer saw energy spike up, spiraling, we believe. She said, hi, and then, and we would say, nodes and nodes, well, you know, they don't play together very nice. They must ride together inert, but when activated, the engines, and they are balancers, and they do many things. And so we would say now that the Melissa and Steve, they are on, well, it's going to either be a null or a node, is it not? And it's up to the Melissa, who's so very good at magnetics and stuff, to just take a look at things and get a feel for it. and see if her hypothesis comes to pass, that her plants are going to really flourish this year. You see, this last activation on the limestone was discussed. It was brought up simply because we were in the sun, sunning ourselves like a cat and going blah 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 blah. Other questions? And the Melissa had a funny one. She felt it might have actually been something that she needed to say rather than actually maybe even would have said. And she asked about why she had not seen UFO. Well, we had a lot to say to her about that. Basically, we want to know why you would want to have the experience of seeing a silver thing in the sky winking at you when you can look down and have a conversation with your broccoli. Are you not seeing these unidentified things all the time, baby? They come in many forms. But if this is what will make you happy, then well, you don't ask for it. It's your inheritance. You state a preference and you allow what happens to happen because you understand you're a sister, a brother, and you can stand in your power and your love and state a preference. And it's funny how that works with those who love, how much they're willing to comply with wishes. And whether seen with the eyes, or with something and we would say each of them walked away altered. And so why do we bring this up for you? Well, we say these things because it's only one tribe, yes, but these are things that are magnetic and morphogenic. And although we say everyone is a quantum reality, don't we say that? So take a look at this one. It depends on what shelf of the energetic mountain you look at her to decide whether she is a loser or a winner. Can we not say that about many people? Take a pick. It's up to you. It's a trick of the light. There's no such thing as either or. But in a quantum reality, the observer is the one who is creating the experience. And then you have mass consciousness, and you have dyads and triads, and it gets kind of complicated, doesn't it? We mention all of this because it does affect human behavior. In so much as you may have noticed, people are a little bit looser, just a little bit. Maybe not so willing to snap. And if snapping is still happening, it's not being tolerated in the same way, but it's being dealt with perhaps differently. But with a sense of right, yeah, we're done here with that. No. We started growing up. When someone walks by you and you're 6, and in the walking by they pick up a stone and go, "Hey, you retard," and throw the rock at you, what's your response? Well, we would say that you don't have to go too far into the media news to see people going, "Hey, well, if you here, I don't have a rock for you, buddy. I got it good." Or whatever. A missile, a nasty name, whatever. Oh, fun in the playground. And then the other ones who are beginning to get a clue that something else is afoot. And somehow it's easier to be saying these things because it doesn't matter anymore. If you want to argue and fight all day long, you go for it. Enjoy that. But I'm not engaging no more. It comes down to reality creation. And this comes down to the reality of a situation, which is if you as an entity are in argument with yourself or with your soul or with your reality, then you are in lesson, in conflict, and possibly having physical symptoms, and that is all okay. That's the name of the game. Name of the game. However, if you become aware that it is an argument, this is the smell in the air. Oh yeah, I don't like this. Oh, I'm angry or whatever. I'm uncomfortable. Blah blah. Well then, there's work to be done. And we don't mean you have to put up your sleeves and put your back in it and suffer for 40 years. That's not the point. The point is that you are in disagreement with something. We bring all of this null node blah blah stuff up to let you know that this is something that was not done overnight. A lifetime of paying attention and listening. A lifetime of devotion. A lifetime of unending, unutterably beautiful love for Creator. It could not be tarnished and remain pure. Each of you have a place like this, you know. It might be called your inner child. It might be called your innocence. And it might be called your common sense. But we say there has been a change in the fluidity of thinking, and it's been directly, she's not the only one doing the work, but there has been a change in magnetic and morphogenic fields, agreement fields. Call it legions of light, call it Archangel Michael calling all his buddies. This is what we want to leave you with. We said, okay, imagine this was last night before we began. Strap in, girls, because imagine a slippy slidey the slide that you have at the swimming hole, okay? And it has a trickle of water in it, right? And so when you go down, it's not grabbing your ass and making you go scoot, 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 and squeak, squeak, squeak. You get to flow, but it might be slow, and it might catch up a little. Not very rough. It's kind of rough, and it's not exactly what you had in mind, but okay. And then you decide to go some more. All right. So you're up there, and you see the trickle. You're okay, fine, and you sit down, and you push off. And then, not very long, you look up and there's this curious sound and something's feeling really weird. And look up and there is an avalanche of water coming at you, and it doesn't do anything but lift you up. And it's soft and it's gentle. And you're filled with glee, joy, happiness, simply because you feel it. No other reason. And then one by one the things that give you glee and joy and that feeling of love and sparkliness come back, and everything settles down, and perhaps then you land in a place that is full of demons and shadow and problems and scariness. But we're telling you, call it amperage. It's increased. The stability that was given by these 4 women, who are ordinary average women in many ways, call them the meek. If you like, 4 mothers standing in a square on top of a null and node of Ascension energy portal. The 13th. Can you imagine? It's beautiful, isn't it? Even if it's just a story told by a crazy old woman, it's still a beautiful story, is it not? Does it make some sense, do you think? Well, in some funny way, maybe as a sci-fi story, it does. And each of these giants are walking hand in pace. And some are relaxing and some are overjoyed at feeling like they have overcome. And some are knee deep in mud. And all of them are purposeful, and all of them are you, and you are they. These are normal, average, ordinary people. Yes, perhaps with a bent for things, but really it's just an openness. And so this is how we close. Truly, the avatar of love in this one's life would allow her to talk about anything she wanted. Be it be sacred geometry, or how writing can give her pleasure nothing else does on earth, and how she still can't figure out how that is, but she still is very happy about it. They can talk about flowers being planted, the foods they ate the night before, the finances, the children around them. But every single thing is said in love itself, spoken by two women who love themselves and accept themselves. And the Mama Linda has shown the Kathy Vic how to do it. She holds this energy. So many profound and gentle women do. We say here now, yes, the women on that hill, they were all mothers. But can you not understand the highest respect within the female clan of those who are without a child? As if that's even something that can be said. Who stand without child, really, is how it is. They are often the elders, the ones who have done it so many times. They are to be honored above all, and loved and blessed, not thought of in any other term, but perfect. Remember what we said, a new philosophy. Every single person is doing their life right. No qualifier. So if you watched 5 minutes and then went away, or if you're watching it even now and puzzling and think it's all silly, or if you're one of those who go, well, that was nice, that's nice to know. We are so excited to see all the different expressions, so many beautiful expressions of the same energy run through so much beautiful happinesses and biologies and akashas, each one so beautiful, each one so purposeful. There is no comparing, okay? This one with her strange life, well, you know, let it be that, and let you be you, whatever your expression. We do say that it's easier if you're not in an argument with your expression, and not an argument with your reality, and not an argument with the outcomes of your behavior. But you know, karma's fun too. And it will become more and more plastic as the human heart becomes more and more open and proud to be responsive, able to respond to intuition, which is what we would say is being very, very responsible indeed. We leave you in utter love, peace, harmony. In this day, we are so happy to know we reach many in also deep understanding. Namaste.